Yes, welcome back to another episode of the NEM Podcast with Christ Lao, and I'm joined by the one and only Mr. President.
Come on, mama, come and join IPC. Come on, papa, come and join IPC. Come on, mama, every march to victory. See, come on, mama, come and join IPC. Come on, papa, come and join IPC. Come on, mama, every march to victory.
Patriots! 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 Thank you very much indeed. Absolutely delighted. I want you all to ask yourself one question. One question only. Why are we here? One question. The next question you want to ask yourself is, what Namibia do you want to see in 5 years? You may now be seated, those who have got seats. It has been a long journey, and I'm absolutely delighted today to do two things. To be able to think back to it.
Please welcome my president.
Thank you very much. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm honored to be sitting next to you. And what do you have to say to the audience for the
one thing is certain. You are an electrician,
Yes,
and
sir.
you are unemployed.
Yeah, but-
And you are not one only. We've got a multitude of talent, skills, expertise, and also innovative people in our midst. And none of them are employed. There's a miscue about planning in this country, that the future generation, it doesn't matter how many degrees they are getting, they are not getting employment. And this is the reason why we say, in order for this country to change, that change must be starting from every single individual, from every single young person. It's not the future that belongs to Iitula or anything like that. The future belongs to the young people. You need to harness your energy to be able to march towards that future. They are talking about a fourth industrial revolution. Without your technical abilities, you will not be able to do that. We need to be able, from your point, to electrify Namibia, to get connectivity in every single village, every single school, to make sure that there's decent infrastructure for all the schools, for our children to be able to start communicating with themselves. There is a lot of talent out there, a lot of skills, raw skills, a lot of expertise there, but it's not utilized. Namibia will be able to harness all this energy in the youth. You've got the brilliant ideas, you've got the brilliant opportunities. All you need is a government that is taking care of it. When I visited the show of the fourth industrial revolution that was at Safari Motel, I asked young people, if I give you 10 years, money and an opportunity, what can you do to contribute to socio-economic development of this country? We've got everything. We've got talent, we've got expertise. And the young people there said, Dr. Iitula, you don't understand what we can do. Give us the opportunity. That is the challenge. And that is the challenge that, so what is needed is a caring government that will be able to support the young people so that they can expand their own talent. There's a lot of raw talent in Namibia, and it will take a little bit to be able to get people together to make the policies. You need to make the policies of how the youth can be empowered. You know your future, and you know what is needed. Yes.
So when you're talking, I heard you saying there will be no visas for Africa, for you to trade in Africa.
Yeah.
So can you
Well,
please elaborate?
why are we talking about a united Africa? Kwame Nkrumah and all the Patrice Lumbumbas and all those people have started a long time ago in the 50s and 60s.
Yes.
Ever since Ghana got independence in 1957, we are talking about Africa Unite, Africa Unite. There has been a lot of wonderful books written about unity of Africa, but we need to demonstrate by breaking the barriers, making sure first of all Namibians have got an ID and all the other African countries have got an ID.
Yes, sir.
They can come to Africa, to Namibia, as long as they are not putting pressure on our social services. They are coming to work and coming to contribute to the development of Africa. In order for us to trade, we are 2.5 million.
Yes.
We need the interior of Africa as a market to trade. We need to exchange ideas. There is a lot of innovation taking place in Rwanda. There is a lot of thought processes in Zambia. But the barrier is the visas. At the same time, if we have got Americans or Russians or Australians that wants to come and visit Namibia to be able to invest, the longer you take to get a visa, the longer you take to register a company, the longer it will take for somebody to say, after all, I better go to Nigeria. I'm guaranteed of 10 million people in Lagos. But in Namibia, we've got 430,000 in window. If you want to come to Namibia to trade, yes, we've got the land. You can create factories. We'll be able to employ every single Namibian and import labor into Namibia. And then Namibia can trade. And on the other hand again, we need to make sure that our raw materials don't go out here unprocessed. We need to create factories in Namibia so that we've got value addition and beneficiation. And that will be the source of employment of this country. So let them come in, lower the interest rate, lower corporate taxes, and then ensure that these people will be able to employ our people. We are telling for everybody who's fishing on our shores here, come and register your vessel in Namibia, make a factory. For every Namibian you employ, we'll give you an incentive. And then, if they come to the mines, why do we need electrical panels for the mines to be imported from any other country? Why can't we get you as electricians to put the whole panel together and allow this to come from Namibia? We've got a land of land, but 60% of our fruits and vegetables come from South Africa. Why? When we've got the rivers and the land fertile as it is, it's a question of a government selecting the priorities and making sure those priorities are there to support the people from coming up. You can start a business, but if you don't have a government support, it's not going to survive.
Do you want to say? Do you have anything to say about the FISHROT that just happened? Do you have anything to say to touch on that? What do you think about the FISHROT case, that whole situation?
Anyone that steals from the sovereignty of a nation commit treason. FISHROT, those that has been responsible from the bottom to the top, committed a criminal offense against the Namibian people, depriving the Namibian people of resources that would have otherwise contributed to a well-being of our nation. As long as we've got corruption and corrupt activities taking place in government, there is no way that Namibia can harness enough funds to be able to support the social services and our education system. So, FISHROT, in my opinion, is a criminal offense, treasonous. It's a treason. You cannot steal natural resources belonging to us and accept just to go away with that. You have to pay back.
Okay, well, what do you have to say about the upcoming elections, 2012?
The people of Namibia will determine the outcome of that election. My responsibility is to convince those people of the leadership qualities that will be required to turn Namibia over. We need massive legal reforms, law reforms. We need massive socio-economic reforms. Above all, we need to reform the political institutions. We cannot have an anti-corruption commissioner who's appointed by the president and unable to investigate the president. We need to restructure all of this, and economic restructuring, including microeconomic restructuring, to make sure that we've got a sound fiscal policy, that we've got a sound exchange rate, that we have got a sound and prudent interest rate that will be able to allow companies to generate profits and to invest more and open up the market as well and employ more of our people. That's the only way, when we've got everybody employed, that we can grow our revenue coffers, to make sure that we can. And we also have to invest a lot in carefully regulated sovereign fund of Namibians to make sure that these children have got a future when we cleared out all the natural resources. So the next election in 2024, will truly determine the future of this nation. As I said, in 2019, Namibia has reached a crossroad.
Yes.
That will be a manifestation of the crossroads. Whether we are going to the left of dictatorship or the right of democratic development in this country is up to the Namibian people to decide. I cannot decide that. You may wish to be me to be the next president of Namibia, but that decision lies with the Namibian people. And it's the Namibian people that need to decide the future. Whether they decide the status quo, which is unfortunate,
yes,
or whether they decide for it to change completely for us to have a better future, is their choice too. My responsibility is to convince them that the light I can see in the future, the vision I have, is not for my ambitions, it's for Namibia to survive.
Most definitely.
Thank you very much.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up? Say anything else you want to say?
Almost.
Anyone who is
Change starts with you.
Yes.
If you have been watching this, it's time that you change and then change Namibia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Excellent.
Honored.
Okay. Yes. Right. Now then, for Erongo region, NGS and CP hereby declare the campaign. It means you start campaigning today, door to door for 2 years. We declare the campaign for Erongo for 2024 Presidential and National Assembly elections truly open. Let's march. Excellent, we may march back. Okay.
Thank you.
After NGS has taken a picture. And because this is an administrative matter, I hand over to NGS.
Ngenge wate Mbango Iitula pokoshiwana IPC tekuwa mene ngenge wate Mbango shikucho wate Mbango nena ngenge IPT taitikucha wate Mbango omake momba dawe totikucha enoa amondayasho hano satu tulapo nou tuetekucha oshiwana oe eshiholola yenayo okwa holola koshiwana hasepen tulapo omuliopo tamtikucha Iitula okwatulapo mekatiba hame nde mtulapi nanulundiranga nante nando kasholo hame nante vanu vashua kopo haiti ava moshua kopelwe ni chaloma ka amushe mwaja moshua kopomo amushe muli moshua ko aka tongi pupulu tatiku Iitula kwa jako etelele pesa ashua kopo nyandi popifa kucha ashua kopo omulipe nyomake ngimwetashi wako pamushi yantingone osava ashi wako po mulipe kativo yengo tanka holola oyengo mwa holola oyengo mwa anjamekelo IPC ndishike Iitula nave shudava tongwi pupulo punato li mundana wa mwa tongwi pupulo mekativa oshiwano oshe kuholola ave mwene hanito kalombera nuku Iitula NGS na bwa manguluka kujimome mbalomo so hasena ndetwa holola mekativa okwa hololwa
Someone mama, every march to victory. Come on mama, come and join at peace. Someone mama, come and join at peace. Someone mama, every march to victory. See, come on mama, come and join at peace. Someone mama, come and join at peace. Someone mama, every march to victory.